rip the night, burning bright, yeah, no stop. Wheels screaming, spit that fire, dirt and gravel, they pop. Oil slick under the street lights, the shadows start to dance. Adrenaline like thunder, man, give me that last chance. Wednesday night, street fights, racing for the win. Broken steel and busted dreams, we wear it on our skin. Smell the fumes, taste the danger, hold tight to the wheel. This ain't no love song, baby, this is raw real. Crowds gather up like wolves, howling for that speed. Races blood pumping fast, gasoline is all they need. Tracks alive like a monster, the dirt flies and bends. Ruthless turns, heart turns savage till the night ends. Wednesday night, street fights, racing for the win. Broken steel and busted dreams, we wear it on our skin. Smell the fumes, taste the danger, hold tight to the wheel. This ain't no love song, baby, this is raw real. Underneath the moonlight, crowds roar so loud. Pride's in the throttle, not in faces of a crowd. A brotherhood of metal, sweat, gears that grind. Cross that line or get left behind. Cold air cuts the dawn, still our fires rage. Holding bruises like trophies, exhaling battle cage. The stands are empty now, but the ghosts they remain. This dirt track story sings forever in our veins. Wednesday night, street fights, racing for the win. Broken steel and busted dreams, we wear it on our skin. Smell the fumes, taste the danger, hold tight to the wheel. This ain't no love song, baby, this is raw real. This is raw real. Roaring engines rip the night, burning bright, yeah, no stop. Wheels screaming, spit that fire, dirt and gravel, they pop. Oil slick under the street lights, the shadows start to dance. Adrenaline like thunder, man, give me that last chance. Wednesday night, street fights, racing for the win. Broken steel and busted dreams, we wear it on our skin. Smell the fumes, taste the danger, hold tight to the wheel. This ain't no love song, baby, this is raw real. Crowds gather up like wolves, howling for that speed. Races blood pumping fast, gasoline is all they need. Tracks alive like a monster, the dirt flies and bends. Ruthless turns, heart turns savage till the night ends. Wednesday night, street fights, racing for the win. Broken steel and
gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome in as we get ready to rock and roll here this evening. Another edition of the Wednesday Night Street Fights is upon us as drivers jumping out on the racetrack here at the beautiful dirt track at Charlotte here this evening as another 65 laps of hard-fought racing action about to come right at you here with the Dirt Warrior Racing League here this evening. Huge shout to all of our amazing sponsors here on Peacemaker and in the series here for the Dirt Warrior Racing League, as we can't do this without them, and we get ready to see these drivers get ready to go to battle here. Now we have a lot of drivers that are looking to qualify, a lot of drivers that are looking to try to put themselves into the show here. We will take the top 20 qualifiers and provisional drivers here this evening, so we could start 24, 25 drivers. We'll have to wait and see what that number is here at the end of the night. But as of right now, all these drivers ready to try to rock and roll. They're looking for this one lap to lay down a quick time and trying to put themselves into a position to advance into tonight's main feature event. The show about to get ready to rock and roll here as we got already 35 drivers putting lap times in. We still got about I'd say 10 drivers or so left to try to put down laps here as we do see Jim Rivas. Rivas out there in that Dirt Warrior Racing number 57 ride. That beautiful iRacing iFlag machine rolls out there right now and jumps up into about the 26th position. So it looks like Jim will be taking a provisional here this evening. Marcos Pace in his beautiful Tommy Gun Customs Conky Floyd Consulting number 47 ride. Marcos with a great lap down across the line, and he will jump up into the 9th position. Unfortunately, that will move Cameron Stefanski now out of the top 20 and now into a provisional position as well, as we do see Kyle Surratt. Surratt's up into 17th here, so he's sitting pretty. He's in a position to qualify here this evening. Ryan Carlisle, Sam Fulton, Derek Rucker, Chris East, and Dane Sly all get to qualify here this evening. For a few of these drivers a little deeper in the field, when we look back at Brad Chambers, William Bowman, Logan Prickett, Jason Calhoun, Jake Montgomery, some of these drivers unfortunately may not transfer through into our main feature event here this evening, as that's about to get underway here in just a little bit. Qualifying has came to a wrap, so that means drivers will get a quick couple minutes here to jump out onto the racetrack to try to lay down some quick times here, hoping that they can work on their race cars, make sure that they are picture perfect, they get the right gear in, the right fuel mileage in, and everything that they need to try to put themselves up and into victory lane here this evening. You do see that 30 ride of Kevin Boley. Boley does slide out onto the racetrack. Here comes Timothy Maysammer. Maysammer out there in that beautiful 327 ride. He's got the 357 to his outside, but good to see Timothy out there on the racetrack. The TNL ride jumps out there onto the speedway, currently sitting in a good spot here to start this evening and looking to try to take some of his in real life experience here back to the simulator and hoping to try to put this 327 ride potentially up and into victory lane. We love that Taurus paint scheme there on that 327 ride, as there's some action there in front of them. Couple drivers bouncing around there as everyone trying to keep themselves pointed in the right direction. More contact as Cameron Stefanski and Timothy coming together right there down across the line. As right now Kyle Surratt, Kyle looking very strong here this evening. Same with Jamie Massey. Massey, anytime he's out there on the racetrack in these dirt street stocks, going to be a tough driver to beat here this evening. Like always, Jeremy Sexton, he's been on a roll. He's running some great laps here. He's up in position number 4 right now for the warm-up speed here this evening. So this is drivers that are just rolling out there, laying down good laps and just trying to make sure they got everything and all the bugs worked out and ready to roll here for our main feature event. You do see Philip Sexton out there, Seth Castle and his beautiful number 4 ride, as he's got that rough house chassis. Conky Floyd Consulting number 4 right now into that 3rd spot here. Robert Tucker out there on the racetrack as well. Good to see Robert back out there as the UFO ride sits right now in about the 6th quickest here this evening. It's good to see James Murphy out there as well. James looking for another big run here this evening as the 65 ride back in position number 3. We see Tyson Pankow, that Dirt Track Junkies Bulletproof Motorsports 91 ride He's having some good runs, some good laps right now. He's looking to have a solid performance here this evening, and a throwback paint scheme here today for Jacob Stefanski. Jacob running one of our old DCSSS, the Dirt Clash Super Street Series paint schemes that we saw him run for many, many races a little while ago. And the 32 ride making a comeback here this evening as he's got that Precision Auto Bodies Throttle Down Motorsports WP Creative Designs number 32 ride looking pretty again out there on the speedway. Evan Monaghan, good to see Monaghan out there as Evan rolls right now in the 10th spot here, looking to have a solid run at the racetrack. Same with Josh Peacock and his JP Designs Bulletproof Motorsports number 61P machine, looking for a big run here this evening. Justin Daughtry out there as well. Justin in the beautiful number 22 here. That is a Roughhouse Chassis Cocky Fluid Consulting ride out there as well. So good to see Justin jump out there onto the track. We do see Surratt, Zane Yost out there. Good to see Zane making another appearance here this evening, as right now he's got that 93Z machine looking pretty out there on the racetrack. Holin Kauser. Hopefully I'm saying that right. I'm probably getting it wrong, but Holin Kauser. That sounds like the most made-up name I've ever heard. Holin Kauser. Holin Kauser. He's hauling cows out there, ladies and gentlemen. Holin Kauser right now out there on the racetrack in that 41 ride. You do see Derek Rice out there, that 357 machine. Ryan Howard out there as well, his beautiful 4X ride. In Kyle Moyer in attendance here this evening as well. His Milner Media and Designs iRacing iFlag number 11 ride looking pretty here again. You do see that DWR iRacing iFlag slingingdirt.com number 57 of Jim Rivas down on the infield looking good here. A little photo shoot for this 57 ride right now as he's looking pretty out there on the racetrack. Jeremy Vaughn in the beautiful number 8 ride throwback paint scheme here to the NH Lens Next Level Racing, the NLR machine, as right now Jeremy rolls in 22nd quickest out there on the racetrack, taking his real life racing here. Once again, back to the simulator, hoping that he can get a little bit of luck here on this dirt track here at Charlotte, and also hoping to see if he can learn something, work on his craft, and maybe get a little bit better out there in real life as well. He doesn't need to get much better, but it never hurts to become the best in what you do. As Marcos Pace back out there on the track, as well as Jason Calhoun in the number 9 ride. Cameron Stefanski back out there in that Sunrise Racing number 2. Kevin Boley back there in currently the 28th position, the 28th quickest lap time there during that warm-up session. As here we go, warm-up coming to a close, and that means we'll get ready to rock and roll here in this one as Liam Odewalt, hopefully I'm saying that right, Liam Odewalt says, my teammate is the 41 of Kauser. It's like Hewling Kauser. Yeah, okay. Hewling Kauser. Okay, I thought maybe it was going more towards hauling Kauser. But Hewling makes it a little bit better. As Jeremy Vaughn says, old car, don't judge. A new car in the paint booth. Laugh out loud. Listen, brother, we love the throwbacks. We love those old school paint schemes, and seeing the MLR rides back out there on the racetrack is never a bad thing. As Amy Marie Stefanski, Dave Morgan, Jeremy Vaughn Racing, and Jake Stefanski all coming in with those heart reactions over there on Facebook, showing the big love here this evening. We appreciate you guys coming in and showing the love here today as we'll get ready to play here in this one, as it does look like we're going to get about 28 drivers or so taking the green flag here this evening. So a lot of fast cats, a lot of competition, a lot of drivers going to be looking to try to race their way up and into victory lane. It's starting on the pole in the 91. It is that Bulletproof Motorsports Dirt Track Junkies number 91 machine of Tyson Pankow. To his outside in the UFO ride, it's Robert Tucker. Starting in position number 3, it's another UFO ride. That is Casey Bronson. Then we see Jeremy Sexton there in his 2020 ride. Timothy Maysammer there in position number 5 with Mr. Jamie Massey right there, the showstopper to his outside, rounding out our top 6. Philip Sexton there in 7th in his Sexton paint and body. Rough Doghouse Racing 20 ride there in the 7th position. To his outside in the Tommy Gun Customs Rough House Chassis, that DWR Jurassic Shark number 8 ride. It's Tyler Jackson, D-Jack, starting back there in 8th. Marcos Pace, his Cocky Floyd Consulting number 47 ride, will start there in 9th, and to his outside his Cocky Floyd Consulting teammate there, that is the Ford Machine of Seth Castle. Starting in position number 11 in the Hewling Cowser, number 41 there in 11th. Derek Rice to his outside there in 12th. Jackie Whaley, Jacob Stefanski, James Murphy, Josh Peacock, Justin Daughtry, Evan Monaghan, Kyle Surratt, and Zach Yost rounding out our top 20. Kyle Moyer, Cameron Stefanski, Jim Revis, Ryan Howard, Jeremy Vaughn, Kevin Bowley, and William Bowman bringing up the rear of the field as we end all the anticipation with our feature presentation as we are quickly green flag racing here at the dirt track at Charlotte. It is the Wednesday night street fights powered by the Dirt Warrior Racing League. In leading lap number 1, it's the 91 of Tyson Pankow. Pankow looking to try to hang on to the race lead as here comes Sexton down to his inside. Jeremy looking to try to move up into position number 1 early on here this evening as right down low you see that 327 ride Timothy Maysammer trying to race his way up into the front of the field as we're going to see our first caution flag of the day fly. The first yellow flag is displayed. We do see a couple drivers tied up and parked here just at the start-finish line. So we do get the yellow flag out here on the speedway. Let's see if we can play this back and take a look and see what happened here, how this kind of got started. We'll take a look at Kyle Moyer out there on the racetrack. I do believe this is going to happen up in front of him, potentially Josh Peacock down low. Oh, there's the contact. Oh, no, right there. This is where it gets started. So you do see this 32 machine of Jacob Stefanski. Stefanski's going to get a shot in the shorts right here from Hewling. As Hewling gets in there, gives him a shot, just gets him up the racetrack right there. Unfortunately, as he travels up the track, gets a piece of the 720 ride of Jackie Whaley, spins him sideways, which then collects that 61P machine of Josh Peacock. Then you see nowhere to go for Kyle Surratt, nowhere to go for the 13 ride, as unfortunate contact there for Evan Monaghan. Monaghan getting some pretty solid contact out of that as well. Then we see, unfortunately, as the 720 and the 61 ride both come up the racetrack here, there's going to be really nowhere to go here for Kyle Moyer. Moyer just trying to roll his way up and around all this, and all of a sudden, all the gaps that he was looking at just disappear, and ends up with some pretty solid damage there. Jeremy Vaughn getting a piece of that, as well as a bunch of drivers getting tore up out here, man. A lot of drivers all of a sudden just nowhere to go, wrong place, wrong time, and unfortunately getting some very early damage. Let's see if we can jump on board here with Cameron Stefanski. Cameron had a pretty crazy view of this one as he sends it down the back straightaway and into core number 3 here. He's going to see this contact. Driver starting to go around in front of him. He dives up to the middle, sees all of them still wrecking. He's got to go back and forth and back and forth. Luckily enough, able to get through there. No contact, no damage there for that Sunrise Racing number 2 machine as we'll get ready to go back to green flag racing here in this one as Tyson Pankow out in front. Pankow leads this race. Jeremy Sexton now up into position number 2. Timothy Maysammer now into 3rd as Casey Bronson and Robert Tucker round out our top 5 as here we go back to green flag racing. Early on here, single file restarts for these drivers. So single file out there on the racetrack trying to make sure things are clean and green and trying to get some good hard laps out here for all these amazing drivers here this evening. As right now, nothing but good racing out there. Everyone doing a fantastic job early on. Everyone hitting their marks. Everyone running some great laps. And we continue to see this 91 ride of Tyson Pankow trying to run away from Jeremy Sexton as Sexton trying to hold on to position number 2. Timothy Maysammer trying to hold off a pair of these UFO rides as Casey Bronson and Robert Tucker right there behind him, both trying to get their Brooks rides up here towards the front of the field once again. As we do see Jamie Massey hanging out back here in position number 6. This is right where Massey started. This feature event has not moved forward, but kind of just hanging out, chilling here in that 6th position. You got to imagine that he may be trying to save a little bit of tire out there on the speedway, trying to help him out later in this race. Same with Phillips, Sexton, Tyler Jackson, all probably trying to take it a little bit easy and having some solid track position already for Massey and Tyler Jackson. Normally we see these two head towards the back of the pack out there on the racetrack, but right now they're just looking to hold strong here. Same with Marcos Pace, Seth Castle rounding out our top 10. Derek Rice there in 11th has Kyle Surratt not too far back behind him. Surratt still has a little bit of that front end damage there on his JP Designs number 18 ride as the Bulletproof Motorsports machine trying to hold off James Murphy. Murphy in the 65 rolls there in the 13th position as Cameron Stefanski there in the Sunrise Racing number 2 goes door to door with that rough house chassis number 22 of Justin Daughtry. Daughtry trying to hold on to that 15th position, but also trying to see if he can work his way around Cameron Stefanski is Zach Yost. Yost up a few spots here in that 589 ride, rolls in that 16th position with Jim Rivas there in position number 17. Ryan Howard, Kevin Bowley, and now Jacob Stefanski rounding out our top 20 as Evan Monaghan, William Bowman in that beautiful 23 ride rolls back there in about the 23rd position as Jackie Whaley down to his inside as they're 3 wide here in front of them. 3 wide racing here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. The dirt track at Charlotte putting on another amazing show for us here this evening. Here comes that NLR Papa Mike Promotions and H-Lens number 8 machine of Jeremy Vaughn. Vaughn rolling there in position number 24 with Josh Peacock back there in 25th. Kyle Moyer there in 26. Hewling, Kauser there in position number 27, and Zane Yost, unfortunately, early on a lap down after missing out on the start of this feature event for the 93. Zane sits back in position number 28 on the racetrack. Is out in front, it's all Tyson Pancake. Pancake looking to try to put himself up and into victory lane here this evening as Evan Stefanski. What's good, Evan? How are you, brother? Evan coming in says, Sunrise Racing. He says, let's go, peace, let's go. Evan, how are you, brother? How you doing this evening? Hopefully you're having yourself a wonderful day, a wonderful Wednesday as we're halfway through the week, halfway to go here, and we still got lots of racing action left to go here this week, man. We still got lots of crazy action here on Peacemaker Gaming, so if you haven't already and you're enjoying the show right now, make sure you guys hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button, become part of the Peacemaker family here today. As the battle brewing back there for third, Casey Bronson looking to try to take that third spot back away from Timothy Maysammer. Maysammer rolling there right now into position number 4, but quickly able to cross over and get back underneath of that UFO number 40 of Casey Bronson. As Bronson trying to hold on to position number 3. We'll see if Maysammer can make his move around that number 40 machine here this evening, and right behind him we do see Robert Tucker, Tyler Jackson, Jamie Massey, and we do see the caution flag come back out. Looks like Philip Sexton running into some problems here. So Philip Sexton and Massey were running pretty tight together here. You see Philip, he's just working to the outside here of Jamie Massey. Now they head down into corner number 3 and 4, and it looks like Philip maybe trying to come down to the middle side of the racetrack here. Massey probably trying to go to that middle ground or the high side. Unfortunately, on corner entry, these two just all of a sudden run out of room out there on the racetrack. This is a tough break. You see the 20 ride shoots, trying to shoot down a little lower. Obviously trying to enter the corner a little bit before Massey right there, and that's easy contact. That happens fairly often, and I mean, it's very nonchalant contact, not a whole lot. And it's just good hard racing up there, man. Drivers running inches off of each other. You make that one simple move, that 1 inch too far down or too high up, and all of a sudden you can end up in this exact situation. Unfortunately for Massey and for Philip Sexton, I do believe both drivers will go to the rear of the field here. So a heartbreaker there for Massey, as Massey had that good track position early on in this race and will now find himself here at the back of the pack. So definitely not the spot you want to be here this evening. Same with Philip Sexton. Obviously Philip and Massey going to be looking to try to travel and race their way back up to the front of the field. For Zane Yost, that was a great break there for Zane as that gets Zane back onto the lead lap. Great break there for him as, yo, what's good, JC? Mr. Floyd, what's good, brother? How are you, JC? JC coming in, showing the love with that like on the stream. It says, hey, sir, hey, mister, how are you? How you doing this evening? Hopefully you're having yourself a wonderful day, JC, as we get ready to go back to battle. We get ready to duke it out here once again. Drivers getting ready to See what they can do, see if they can find that extra gear, see if they can disappear, and maybe see if they can try to put themselves up and into the winning situation here this evening for the pair of UFO rides. They're looking for a big jump on the back bumper here of that 91 ride at Tyson Pankow. Pankow gets a fairly solid restart right there, down through one. He's able to slide up and clear that 2020 of Jeremy Sexton, but Sexton looking to try to hail the mail down the back straightaway here. He's looking to haul the mail here this evening as he rolls right down low, now working to the inside here of that 91. They're 3-4 wide back there deeper throughout the field. Everyone navigating their way, trying to race their way up towards the front, and now we do see Tyler Jackson. T-Jack has worked his way now into position number 3 in that DWR Jurassic Shark number 8 machine of Tyler Jackson, looking to see if he can race his way back up to the front of the field here in this one. It's still 3-4 wide back here throughout the field. Everyone doing a fantastic job keeping it clean and green once again. Obviously, sometimes cautions breed cautions out there on the racetrack, and we almost saw another one as the 20 ride having to really check up. Now we see Jamie Massey kind of stuck right in the middle of a 3-wide battle here. He has to back out of it, roll back in behind Josh Peacock, and that allows Peacock and Zane Yost both to get around him here as you see the 23 machine trying to keep that thing pointed the right direction. William Bowman really started to push that 23 right. Unfortunately, maybe through that slick stuff, getting a little too sideways right there. You can see that car really hanging out, and that's just gonna tear up those tires even quicker and put him into a worse position later in this race. So he's gonna have to be very, very careful on how hard he's going back here deeper in the field. As spinning those tires, it may look cool, but not getting any of that forward traction, forward bite, unfortunately, means that you're just spinning tires and not going forward quick enough, and that means you're giving up time, being slower on the racetrack, and that is not what you want to do. As out in front, exactly what you want to do is lead this race, and that's what Tyson Pankow has accomplished here. Is down across the line, he'll click off lap number 23 here this evening. And we get closer and closer to our checkered flag as Dylan Simmons coming in with that like on the stream. My boy Hunter Gaines, what's good, Hunter? Hunter says, lucky I ain't there. Hunter, I'm sure these drivers, they saw you load into the sim, brother. They be shaking in their boots. They be shaking in their boots. Seeing Hunter Gaines out there on the racetrack, that is for certain. I'm not sure if they be shaking because it's going to be scary or if they be shaking because, you know, they're intimidated by it. I don't know how that's going to work. If they figure there's going to be more caution flags, maybe it'd be a good thing. If there's less caution flags or a really fast Hunter Gaines out there on the racetrack, definitely either one. Very scary. As my boy Justin Johnson, let's go JJ. Justin coming in, setting it off here in this one. How are you, Justin? Brother coming in, show the big love here with the 200-star bombing here this evening. The big D of the day going to Justin Johnson with a 200-star donation here this evening. Absolutely too courteous, too kind of you, Justin, and we appreciate you, brother, coming in, showing the love and support again here this evening, man. It's some great racing action out there on the racetrack. These drivers doing a fantastic job, man, putting together some great laps, doing a great job out there on the racetrack. Everyone keeping their cars just rolling, pointing in the right direction, not giving an inch out there on the racetrack. And for Tyson Pankow leading the first 27, now down across the line, the first 28 laps of this race. Will he be that reflection of perfection? Will he keep all these drivers back there at bay here this evening? Jeremy Sexton, Tyler Jackson, they think otherwise. They want to work themselves up and into victory lane. Casey Brunson right there in 4th. Seth Castle back in 5th. Kyle Surratt. Surratt's been working his way up and through the field here. Surratt now up into position number 6 as we see the caution flag come back out. Caution flag back out on the racetrack. Our 3rd yellow flag of the day here in this one. So the 3rd caution here this evening, and it looks like Kyle Moyer potentially going to run into some more problems here. He's got Jamie Massey right there in front of him. They are running virtually nose to tail as Massey. Oh, Massey tries to clear him right there. I'm not sure if the 11 comes down or if Massey comes up. Nonetheless, they do not clear each other, and they get time together here, and unfortunately some pretty solid contact as it's just going to spin this 6 right up into the outside fence, and then it's going to collect the 11 right here as well. Massey hoping to clear him right here, and it does look like Massey He's going to travel up the track over the nose of the 11 ride, and that stuffs him up into the outside fence as Moyer's unfortunately getting checked up, losing all that speed and having the 6 ride in the fence in front of him. He has Josh Peacock right there behind him, gets a piece of him, spins Moyer around. You do see the 93 ride also going for a loop-de-loop right there. That is Zane Yost. Yost getting some pretty solid damage out of that. Same with that 357 ride. There's a couple drivers getting tore up here deeper in the field, and that will put us back under the caution flag here this evening. So the caution flag coming back out. This is virtually what I do believe 29 laps, 30 laps into this race now. So we're getting down to the nitty-gritty. The intensity level is going to continue to climb. Drivers know that this is their shot, their opportunity, that if they were trying to save some fuel or save some tires out there on the racetrack, they may want to use it right now. They may want to try to use it to their advantage, where they can try to leapfrog some drivers and start racing their way towards the front of the field. If you wait too long, unfortunately, you may not have enough time to use it to your advantage, and it may be too short of notice. And obviously, getting this caution flag kind of midway through this race, you're really got to be on your A game. You got to be trying to push your way up into the front of the field here to try to put yourself in position to potentially win this race late in this one, if we stay clean and green, or even if we see some late race yellows. As here we go back to green flag racing. Tyson Pankow onto the loud pedal, and look out, here comes Tyler Jackson. T-Jack down low took a peek to the inside of the 91, looking for a big run down and out of corner number 2. They're 2 wide, almost 3 wide here at the front of the field as Tyler Jackson goes for the slide job contact. There goes the UFO machine. Caution flag will come back out as T-Jack able to take that race lead. It all starts back here as the 2020 of Jeremy Sexton right here. This is really what's going to get things started here as the 2020 ride, trying to roll that middle, trying to move up and around Tyson Pankow here this evening. Unfortunately, as he sends it into the corner, he's just going to travel up the racetrack maybe a little too far. Tail tangs this 91 ride right there. Just gets a piece of him right there. Then gets him sideways up the racetrack, and that all of a sudden gets that UFO machine checked up here. Now, I do believe that is the UFO ride. I do believe that one is Casey Brunson. Now, I could be wrong on that fact, but I do believe that was Brunson that got turned around right there. Let's see if we can take a look at it. Yeah, that is Casey Brunson in the 40 UFO machine, as there's the contact between the 2020 and the 91. And then, obviously, you see this UFO machine trying to get checked up, not wanting to run over Tyson Pankow, and all of a sudden, the coach, Kyle Surratt, you see Surratt down low. He also gets a little bit tight right here. He's trying to keep himself going the right direction, obviously trying to avoid the 4 ride. Washes up the racetrack into that UFO machine, collecting the other UFO ride, also collecting a few other drivers here. There's a bunch of other cats, unfortunately, later on. Nowhere to go right there. Heavy contact for a bunch of them as Surratt and this 40 ride. Heavy damage. And you see the other UFO ride of Robert Tucker. Nowhere to go. Drives right into the side of them. They wash down the racetrack. It's going to collect this 4 ride right here. It's a tough break right there for Mr. Howard. As Howard nowhere to go, get some pretty solid damage. And that 589 ride of Yost going to get in there, get some pretty solid damage there himself for Zach Yost. And the 357 of Derek Wright's also going to get tied up in it, get some pretty solid contact there as well. So about 5-6 drivers all tore up right there down the front straightaway here at Charlotte. And a quick back-to-back caution flags means that we'll get ready for a quick restart here this evening. So another opportunity for drivers to try to make some moves, trying to slide their way up and into the front of the field, as James Beaver says, "What up?" Did not make it for the race. Unfortunate break for you, James, but we're glad you're up here watching on the broadcast as Hypershift Racing League. Hypershift coming in, showing the love with that heart, or the like on the stream. Anthony Karp with that like and the share, as well as, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you haven't already, make sure you guys do hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that follow and subscribe button, as cautions breeding cautions here halfway through this race. As let's take a look back here. We'll take a look at the 30 riders. It does look like Kevin Bowley, Josh Peacock, and I do believe these two are going to get tied together. So watch the 30 ride in that P61. Their nose to tail here on the restart, and it looks like potentially Bowley just gets loose there. Steps on it, getting onto the throttle right there. Unfortunately, just going to spin those rear tires, and as he does, He's just going to lose the rear end here a little bit. Right there. Lose the rear end. Slide sideways. Nowhere to go for Peacock as he's on the throttle. Trying to get that car rocking and rolling. And then we're going to see, oh, man, another tough break here for Philip Sexton. Philip just cannot stay out of these, man. Philip has been getting tied up in a lot of these caution flags. And unfortunately, for that 20 ride, definitely not the way he wanted things to go here in this one. Let's take a look at this 20 ride as he's going to roll down through here. All of a sudden, checked up P61 right there. Just drives right in front of him here, basically comes to a slow stop, and for this 2020 ride, ends up with some pretty solid damage. In that 589 ride, again, also going to get some damage here as well, as he looks to try to shoot in between the 61 and the 30 ride. Unfortunately, the 61's going to go around, and that is going to make him come down and into Zach Yost. Yost ends up getting some pretty good damage there again, and also gets a piece of that infield tractor tire as well, so quite a bit of damage there. Back to back out there on the racetrack for that 589 machinist. Here we go. We'll get them stacked up. We'll get them racked up. We'll get ready to try it all over again here. Our another attempt here trying to go back to green flag racing here this evening. Tyler Jackson leads the way as James Beaver says, poor guy, done that before. Yeah, it's easy enough to do, that's for certain. As James coming in, dropping the like on the stream as well. I appreciate that, James. As here we go, back to green flag racing as Tyler Jackson, T-Jack, the Alpha Shark, out in front leading this race as Tyler Jackson taking the race lead, looking to try to run away with it. Jeremy Sexton, Tyson Pankow, Seth Castle, and Marcos Pace trying to hunt him down out there on the racetrack. Here comes that number 65 of James Murphy. Murphy rolls there in that 6th position with Justin Daughtry back in 7th. Timothy Maysammer there in position number 8. Cameron Stefanski up and into 9th, and Jacob Stefanski rounding out our top 10 here as a pair of those Sunrise Racing rides just inside the top 10 here this evening. Ryan Howard there in 11th. Jim Rivas there in position number 12. Jackie Whaley, Evan Monaghan, Jamie Massey back up inside the top 15 in his beautiful M6 ride. Zane Yost there in 16th with Jeremy Vaughn, the NLR House of Speed Papa Mike Promotions number 8 ride, rolling back there in about the 17th position as he does battle door to door here with Kyle Surratt. Surratt back in 18th in that 18 ride. Then we see Philip Sexton, Hewling Kauser there in position number 20 with Josh Peacock, Kyle Moyer, Zach Yost, William Bowman, Kevin Boley, Derek Rice. Our top 26 out there on the racetrack is unfortunately only the UFO rides have disappeared from the racing surface here. Unfortunately, Casey Bronson and Robert Tucker have both taken their cars off of the racing surface here and have taken their cars back and out of this race. As the 8 rider Tyler Jackson, T-Jack leads us here just past our halfway marker here this evening. Is nice and easy down into quarter number 3, the DWR, the Dirt Warrior Racing League's Jurassic Shark number 8 ride of Tyler Jackson out in front. He's looking to try to open up a lead here, looking to try to run away with this one with only 26 more laps left to go. Next time by, we will see 25 more laps of racing action here this evening. Only 25 more laps to duke it out into battle here today. Is down across the line. There it is. We are 40 laps completed, 25 more laps left to go, and we will jump into our Peacemaker Gaming Crank It Up. So crank up that volume and cheer on your favorite driver as we crank it up here on Peacemaker Gaming. Alrighty, caution flag back out. There's the contact as the 32 ride of Jacob Stefanski, unfortunately, going to get a shot in the shorts right there from Jamie Massey. Massey going to come in here, big head of steam, unfortunately gets a piece of that 32, kicks him sideways, backs it up and around, and then here comes so many other drivers, man. A ton of cars just getting absolutely tore up out there on the racetrack. A lot of these guys nowhere to go out there, and all of a sudden end up with a ton of damage. As let's take a look back at it here. Here's that contact between the 6M machine of Jamie Massey and the 32 of Jacob Stefanski. Stefanski gonna get slideways there, and unfortunately can't catch it. Goes around, pointed the wrong direction. This is definitely not a spot you want to be sitting there. As all of a sudden here comes Howard, here comes Zane Yost. You see Whaley and Massey make contact right there as well, and see the 32 ride almost go airborne, but then everyone else just piling in here. Kyle Surratt, Evan Monaghan, Yost, there's Jim Rivas, the 8 ride of Jeremy Vaughn, he gets tied up in this one. Then you see the 61P machine of Josh Peacock. Peacock slides in there, slams in, makes a Jeremy Vaughn sandwich right there between himself and that 13 ride. You do see the 589 getting some contact there, as well as the 11 of Kyle Moyer goes around. All these drivers unfortunately getting some pretty solid damage right there, man. A lot of tore up race cars down through corner number 3 and 4, and that means we'll get them ready to roll here once again as the green flag back out on the racetrack. Green flag quickly back out. T-Jack, Tyler Jackson once again with that race lead, looking to try to run away with this one. Is only 15 laps left to go. Actually, this time by the start-finish line, there's only 14 laps left here in this race, and these drivers doing a fantastic job, man. Some great racing here all evening long, as James Beaver says, clean up in turn 3 and 4. Yes, there was definitely a major cleanup down there. A lot of debris, a lot of carnage, and unfortunately, a lot of destroyed race cars down there through corner 3 and 4 as we keep it clean and green here. Drivers looking to try to make it to the end of this race, hoping not to see another caution flag here, hoping that they can try to put themselves up and into victory lane here this evening. As man, all these drivers, man, doing such a great job, having such a great run here this evening, and hoping to try to put themselves up and into victory lane here today. But only one driver will get that opportunity, one driver being able to get it done here at Charlotte. As all these drivers, they know what it means to pick up a win here in the Dirt Warrior Racing League, and there's the 47 ride. Oh no, this is a tough one right here. Marcos Paints just getting in there way too far. Unfortunately, going to bring that caution flag back out, and he's going to take out our race leader, as well as, unfortunately, Tyler Jackson here. T-Jack, really nothing he could do. He's just trying to hang on, trying to keep this car out of trouble, and all of a sudden, here comes that 47 ride from deep back behind him here. Drives it in there deep. I don't know if he was just trying to throw a slide job or not on the 2020 ride, or what the plan was here, but he is quite a ways back. He's on the back bumper here of that 2020 ride, but you can see the gap that T-Jack has built. There's such a gap between him and the 2020 ride already, and for the 47 ride, just getting in there, man, way too deep, way too far, and just absolutely clearing out our race leader here this evening. Let's see if we can get another look at it here, as definitely a tough one here for Marco. Definitely have had better runs, better opportunities, and better corners than that one. And unfortunately, he'll be looking to try to forget about that as quickly as possible. For Tyler Jackson, not going to be as easy as our race leader gets taken out. And then you see him also clip the 65 right there and the 91 as more drivers pile in. Everyone's trying to find their way through there. Jim Rivas, the 93 of Zane Yost, gets some damage there into that 65 ride of Murphy. You also saw Tyson Pankow. Pankow also getting tied up there, getting turned around as well. But, man, this is definitely a big move, a very bold move, and definitely a big move here. And I'm not sure exactly what the thought process. Obviously trying to maybe slide jump the 2020 ride, but just sends it in there way too deep, and collects the 8 ride of Tyler Jackson as well. And our race leader going around, definitely not the way he wanted this race to go, as T-Jack looks like he has taken that car right off the racetrack here in this one. As Jordan Cage says, I need a Marcos Pace t-shirt, he says. Needs that t-shirt right now. Get the credit card out and set by right now. It'll ship from Australia to the U.S. Don't you worry about that. As JC says, I don't think he knew he was cutting down. Yeah, I don't think he probably planned for that one. I don't think he realized that's what Line Tyler Jackson was running. But nonetheless, the car in front of you, you still got to try to get onto the binders. You still got to try to avoid not running into a car, whether or not he's cutting down the racetrack or not. And when you can see him for 10 car lengths in front of you, you know, you kind of got to plan for that and try your best not to drive into the side of him, whether he's cutting down the track there a car length or two or not. But here we go, back to battle, and out in front, it is Jeremy Sexton. Sexton leading the way, and where did Cameron Stefanski come from? Cameron Stefanski now right into the mix here, the Sunrise Racing number 2 ride. Now he's back into this fight. Here comes Seth Castle, here comes Jackie Whaley as the DWR iRacing iFlag 720 ride trying to get hooked up here on the high side. Here comes Timothy Maysammer as Maysammer rolls the outside lane, and the 20 ride of Philip Sexton. Sexton got turned around, got heavy contact a few times out there on the racetrack, now finds himself up here in position number 6. Some great breaks for some of these drivers being able to battle back and being able to put themselves into contention here this evening. You look back at Josh Peacock, Evan Monaghan, a few of these drivers that were having some absolutely horrid runs early on, but now right here in this fight late in this race, as out in front and taking the race lead away, it is that Sunrise Racing number 2 ride. Cameron Stefanski now to the point, just rolling the inside lane to perfection. Seth Castle trying to continue to work to his outside as the 4 ride try to jump up and pick up a big checkered flag here this evening. It's Cameron Stefanski though, the Sunrise Racing 5-6 graphics number 2 ride, looking for his first DWRL victory here this evening as he's door-to-door with Seth Castle down across the line. I think that time you give the advantage to the 4 ride of Castle, potentially finding something up there on the outside lane, looking for these big runs and hoping that he can use it to his advantage to potentially pick up and steal this win away from Cameron Stefanski. And they got to be careful as here comes that 720 of Jackie Whaley as Jeremy Sexton pulls his car down to the infield. Jeremy taking his car off the racetrack and now out of this race for Jeremy Sexton as Cameron Stefanski leads us down into corner number 3. Nice and easy down and out of corner number 4. A drag race back to the line. And this time by, we will see 2 more laps left to go here in this one. 2 more laps of racing action left. Cameron Stefanski trying to hold off Seth Castle. Castle trying to steal this win away from him. Jackie Whaley right there ready to pounce. And same with that 20 ride of Philip Sexton. You see the 22 ride of Justin Daughtry right there as well. Daughtry in position number 5 as we see that white flag fly one more time around here for either Seth Castle or Cameron Stefanski. It's been a drag race. They have been door-to-door, lap after lap after lap, and it's going to come right down here to the end. It's down through 3 and out of 4. They're wrecking back behind him, but down across the line, squeezes him up into the fence, and it's Cameron Stefanski who picks up the checkered flag here at the dirt track at Charlotte, picking up the Dirt Warrior Racing League Wednesday Night Street Fights checkered flag, his first win here with the DWRL crew here this evening. What a run and what a drive here for Cameron Stefanski as he's able to find victory lane here this evening, and he'll park that Sunrise Racing ride up into victory lane. He's going to be psyched about this one. This is going to be a great interview to get him up and into the broadcast booth as Cameron going to be absolutely pumped up, picking up this big win here this evening, able to hold off Seth Castle, Jackie Whaley, Philip Sexton, Timothy Maysammer, and so many other great drivers out there on the racetrack, but no one better here this evening than this 2 ride as he definitely gets to celebrate, do those burnouts, and do those donuts out there for all of us to enjoy here this evening. Man, what a run, what a win. No better fitting driver to win this race than that 2 car right there. It's been a long time coming and definitely a well-deserved checkered flag here this evening for Cameron Stefanski. I don't think any driver is going to be upset seeing him up here in victory lane as we'll get ready to pull our top 3 up and into the broadcast booth here for their post-race interviews. Post-race interviews coming up next here in just a little bit. We'll get them up here into the booth for their post-race interviews. We'll see if they're in there yet, if we get those drivers up and into the booth, as we'll wait for them to slide in there. Dakota, what's good, Dakota? Dakota says, Peacemaker, long time no see, brother. Peace. Brother, We've been here. We've been waiting for you, Dakota. We've been waiting for you, Mr. Denny. Good to see you, brother. Good to see you. Hopefully you're doing well. Hopefully you're having yourself a wonderful day. And it's always good to see you when you pop in, Dakota. And hey, man, life happens. Life happens. You can't be here for every race. We're live every single day of the week. So can't fault you on that one, man. But what a run. What a drive for you here this evening, man. As these guys put on a heck of a run, heck of a drive for us out there on the racetrack. And Dakota coming in showing the big love here in this one with the like on the stream, as well as Jeremy Vaughn Racing says, well, flipped across the line. That car's junk now. That car is definitely junk now, and that's a tough break because, Jeremy, you were battling right there, I do believe, almost coming home with the top 10 again here this evening, as JC says, tell Seth you got to use them up before they use you for the checkered. Yeah, you got to use them tires up, and you got to use those other drivers up before you get used up out there. And unfortunately for Seth Castle, he got a little tore up right there in that one, as we'll get ready now to pull in our race winner, Mr. Cameron Stefanski. Let's get him up here into the booth.
It wasn't
hey,
you.
Cameron,
maybe it was somebody else.
Hey, Cameron, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. Taking a copy?
Yes, sir.
Cameron, man, what a run, what a drive, man. Take us back through this one, and how does it feel to be up here in Victory Lane here on the stream and out there on the racetrack here with the Dirt Warrior Racing League?
Feels really good, honestly, Aaron. It's really good. I mean, this is my first, honestly, competitive league win, so huge for me, huge for the team. But, I mean, honestly, I kind of just went into this. I'm coming off like a 2-week suspension in this league just for, not claiming a caution here or there. But I was just honestly trying to stay out of everybody's business today because I was still on like a second strike, they call it. So I was just trying to stay out of things, and maybe in that way I saved enough tire for me to take advantage of everything that's happened. And a lot of the top guys with like T-Jack and Sexton getting out kind of towards the end there gave me a chance to take advantage of it. So I'm psyched.
Absolutely able to take advantage of, saving some of those tires and rolling and just being smart out there on the racetrack, and not only saving your equipment for late in this race, but also just trying to keep yourself out of trouble there on the speedway, man. It was a hell of a run, a hell of a performance, and a tight battle right down to the checkered flag here as you and Seth Castle door to door for, probably the closing 8-10 laps of this race. He was rolling that outside lane, you were rolling the bottom. It was a heads-up game right there for quite a while, and luckily enough, you're able to just beat him back down across the start finish line, man. Take us through that battle and through those closing laps, and down across the line there. How tight and how excited were you to pick up this win?
Honestly, again, I was just, if Seth was gonna pass me, or even Jackie, because he definitely had enough to win in a couple laps. I think he saved enough. I think that again, I was just trying to hold my line. I didn't want to ruin anybody's race. I think, honestly, I was just patient and ran my line that was working the last 10 laps, and I stuck to it, and it worked out for me. I'm happy about it.
Absolutely worked out perfectly for you here in this one. As Cameron, you parked that Sunrise Racing ride up into Victory Lane here this evening. Brother, who would you like to thank for such a great run and great performance out there on the Speedway?
Well, I'd just like to thank my girlfriend for letting me do this all the time, which it's always a blast. And definitely my team. We obviously hop on a lot and put some practice in, maybe not as much as some of these other guys, which makes these wins a whole lot sweeter.
Absolutely, man. Making it very, very sweet here this evening. Congrats on the dub. We got Steven Stefanski in the chat. He's saying, let's go, Cam, cheering you on. And I'm sure this one's going to be reciting for a long time with smiles on their face for the entire Stefanski clan here this evening, man. It's what a run, what a drive for you, brother. And we hope to see many, many more of these wins for you, many more trips for you up here into the broadcast booth.
Thank you, Aaron. Appreciate it.
Absolutely, brother. Enjoy this win. And this time, you know what, brother? You can party hard down there at Victory Lane tonight.
Thank you.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for Cameron Stefanski's. Cameron picks up the checker flag here this evening in the Dirt Warrior Racing League's Wednesday night street fights. Live action here from the dirt track at Charlotte. And Stefanski gets it done and picks up the checker flag. We'll get ready to pull in the counterpart of that door-to-door battle down across the line here. Unfortunately, one driver could win it, and another driver had to lose it here this evening as Seth Castle, oh so close to finding victory lane again here this evening, unfortunately parks up in position number 2. Let's pull Seth up here into the booth. Hey Seth, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. You get a copy?
What's up, AA Ron?
Not much, Seth, brother. Great run, great race out there, man. Take us back through it as obviously biding your time, racing your way up there, then late in this one, duking it out with Cameron Stefanski for the win here this evening as JC Floyd came into the comment section and says, you got to use them up before you get used up for the checkered out there on the racetrack, man. Take us back through the battle and what's kind of going through your mind here is, come home in a very solid second place finish nonetheless.
Oh yeah, I mean it was. I definitely felt like that I could run up there, but I had a terrible qualifying, and which I was kind of okay with because at that point I knew it would just force me to kind of take care of my tires for a while, and we made up some ground. Honestly, made up a lot of positions just off of attrition. So I'll take that. There were some really fast guys that got EOLs and left and put us in that position. But yeah, I had enough rubber left at the end to get by Jeremy, and and just didn't quite have enough for Cameron. Had the momentum in 1 and 2 at the wall, and honestly I thought for sure I was gonna get him. I was like, yeah, we got this in the bag. But he was just so good in 3 and 4, hanging it down there in the middle, and got me by a nose. But that was fun, man. I haven't been up here in the booth with you in a long time, so it's good to talk to you again.
Yeah, absolutely, brother. Always good to see you out there on the racetrack. Even better, being able to bring you up here into the broadcast booth post-race. Know that you're able to have a good run and a solid performance out there, and being able to park that 4 ride once again up here into the top 3, up onto the podium here again for you, man. As it seemed like, it was definitely a long time, man. It seems like not a whole lot of dirt street stock action going on anymore for us to be able to put on good shows and be able to draw the likes of yourself and the rest of these Cocky Floyd Consulting rides and a lot of these other drivers as well.
Yeah. Well, we like to show up in force for sure. We got a lot of good guys over at Cocky Floyd, and good group of guys. Me and the Sextons and Derek Rice. Some of them guys. We race together every night of the week, basically. And we're grinding. Doing what we can to get faster, and it's definitely showing. I mean, we got a car up front basically every single race that we enter, and so it feels good. We're showing up and showing out for Cocky Floyd, and of course we thank him for everything that he's doing for us and helping us, keeping us up to speed, and feels good, man.
Absolutely. Always feels good coming home with a solid performance out there on the racetrack, especially with so many good, talented drivers out there battling alongside you, man. Take us back, though, through some of that action, as we knew you were up inside the top 5 there for quite a while. Then all of a sudden you see the likes of, Tyler Jackson and Marcos Pace running into problems there late in the race. We see the 2020 ride of Jeremy Sexton pull off. What was kind of going through your mind right there as you saw so many of these great drivers running into these problems out there on the racetrack?
I honestly just don't overdo it. I was just trying to run my race. I mean, like I said, or like you said, Marcos was up there. He races with us about every night, and he was pushing me around the track for a long time, and he finally got around me. Like I said, just chasing the track as it transitions, while at the same time not using up all your stuff. And coming up through there, we got up there to Tyler and them guys, and there's some fast guys. So it was just a mindset of not overdoing it. And hope and wait for the the wrecks to happen, because they always do, and just hope that you're in a position to miss them when they do happen. And that's what we did tonight. There was a couple big wrecks directly in front of us that we were able to miss and gain a position or two every time. And so I knew once we got into the top 5, fourth, fifth, that we could start pushing and try to make a run at it.
Absolutely. Well, he definitely made a run at it, and he came up a bumper short of potentially picking up the checkered flag here this evening. Seth, congrats on the great run. Congrats on the great performance, and we can't wait to see you back out there, hopefully next Wednesday.
Yes, sir, man. I hope I can be here. Like I said, I appreciate all you guys doing this, Jim and him guys consistently doing this, and you for putting on the broadcast. So keep up the good work, bro.
I appreciate that, brother. Seth, enjoy the rest of your evening, and congrats again on the second place run.
Yep, appreciate it, man. Later.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for our second place finisher. Here this evening, it's Mr. Seth Castle. Castle coming home here in P2 as we'll get ready to pull in our third place finisher here this evening. It's Jackie Whaley coming home in third as Evan Stefanski says, woo! Sunrise Racing, baby! He said, I told you. You definitely came in and told me. It wasn't on Facebook, it was over on YouTube, but you definitely came in and said Sunrise Racing, and you knew it. You called it. You knew that they were going to have a good run here this evening, and here they are. Cameron Stefanski picking up the win, but right there, not too far behind him was the 720 rider Jackie Whaley, and we'll get ready to pull Jackie up and into the broadcast booth here for his post-race interview here today. As T-Jack Tyler says, congrats, Cam. Congrats to Cam right there. Definitely a fitting driver to win this race, that is for certain, man. Cameron's went through some stuff, some bad swings, and I'm happy to see that Cam was able to, bounce back and put on a great show for everyone and be there at the end of this race and finally find his way up and into victory lane. We've seen him out there battling, racing, having solid runs, and they all go for naught for so many races here, for the last couple of years at least. And luckily enough, we finally get to be able to see Cameron pick this one up. As we'll get ready now to pull in Mr. Whaley's Jackie coming home here in position number 3. Let's get him up into the broadcast booth. Hey, Jackie, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. You get a copy?
Yes, sir.
Jackie, man, solid run, solid drive here this evening, brother, as you're able to find your way up here into position number 3 late in this race. But that doesn't come without some issues out there. We saw you get bounced around a couple times at a few of those caution flags, and then all of a sudden maybe just trying to save that fuel or just trying to keep yourself out of trouble and able to save those tires here throughout this race. And all of a sudden you're able to work yourself right up here towards the front of the field and putting on a heck of a battle there, moving around drivers like Philip Sexton, Timothy May-Sammer, and so many other fast cats to be able to slant yourself up here onto the podium.
Yeah, I got beginning of that race. I got spun out, I believe. I can't remember who it was. It don't matter. They claimed their caution. But then I thought, man, I'm just going to ride a little bit, and I got up on top, middle of the race, and it felt real good. But I found another line about a lane down, and I rode there for a little bit, try to save my tires. I feel like if you're up on top, I don't know, it might burn your tires a little bit, and I wanted to have something there at the end, and I felt like I did, and man, I thought I kind of messed up at the end. I thought I had a chance to get both those cats up there in front of me, but super happy for Cameron, man, that he picks up a win here tonight. I know he's really excited, and I'm really excited for him.
Yeah, absolutely no better fitting driver to be able to pick up the checkered flag here this evening at the dirt track at Charlotte, man. But it was a great run by yourself. Take us back through some of this race. Obviously, we saw a lot of 2, 3, 4 wide racing out there, and that late in this race, obviously some craziness there towards the front of the field. We see, Marcos and Tyler Jackson run into their problem. We see, a bunch of other front drivers, have issues and be sent to the rear of the field here throughout this race. What was kind of going through your mind as, some of these fast cats were having issues here this evening?
What was going through my mind was nobody paid attention to me whenever I told everybody at the beginning of the race that you got to stay patient. But I mean, that's just the way it goes sometimes. People misjudge. That stuff's going to happen. That stuff happens in real racing, and but it's just part of racing, I guess. But everything worked out. Everybody You know, the last three races we had, you only broadcast Wednesday, but the last 3 races that we've had have been really, really good races. I feel like everybody as a whole has put on a pretty good show, and you know, especially tonight, I felt like it was really, really good race. And I mean, there was multiple grooves that you could run tonight, and I felt like for the most part everybody was pretty respectful tonight. So just want to send a shout out to everybody, man. Great job tonight. I really thought it was some good racing.
Yeah, definitely some great racing, some great battles out there, and late in this one, watching it drive up and park it into that third and final podium spot here this evening. Jackie, who else would you like to thank for such a great run and strong performance here this evening?
Evil One Graphics, BCR, Sim Products, 304 Roots, Dirt Panda, Bibs Liquor, iRacing iFlags, and all my teammates back at DWR, man. Like I've said before in the past, some of the best dudes on the sim. I really appreciate everyone.
Absolutely.
Hey, before I get off here, Peace,
Yep.
we need to do like an in-car interview during the race under a caution or something. What do you think about that?
Definitely can be done if we have enough time. It's usually, watch 2 or 3 replays of whatever brought the caution flag out, and we're right back to green flag. So it's not like NASCAR where normally I got that 5-minute buffer zone, right? So
Or like get someone, you know, Jamie Massey and some of those really, really fast guys. I'm sure they could chat while they was racing.
They could. I'm sure I would have to message them and set that up beforehand. As
I just
I don't know if I'd just pull them right in. They might get a little upset at me doing that.
yeah, I think that'd be something interesting to add to the broadcast myself. But it's just a thought, and I did forget to thank one person. You, Peacemaker, man, you do a hell of a job, brother, and we appreciate you, man.
I appreciate that, brother, and I appreciate you guys having me up here in the booth and putting these shows on for you. Jackie, great run, great race again here tonight, man. We can't wait to see you guys back out there next Wednesday, and hopefully we'll see you right back up here in the broadcast booth, maybe a couple spots better, and into victory lane yourself.
Yeah, it won't be this Wednesday, man. I'm going on vacation, so I'll be out for a week. It'll be all Jimbo and the other guys taking care of things, hopefully.
Alrighty, well then we'll see you back here in a couple weeks' time, and then hopefully we'll see you in victory lane. Maybe next week
Hopefully,
we'll see Jim up.
Maybe. Oh yeah, I'd like to see old man Jim, man. He's due for one. He's overdue for one. So maybe we can get him up there.
Yeah, absolutely. I will black flag everybody on the final lap. So
there you go, brother. There you go.
All right,
all right. Thank you, sir.
All right, Jackie, enjoy the rest of your night.
All right, thanks, sir.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for Jackie Whaley. Is Jackie coming home there in position number 3 here this evening. Heck of a run, heck of a drive there for that 720 machine as Jackie rounds out our top 3 here this evening. We can't thank you guys enough for tuning in and showing up and showing the love here this evening. Everyone coming in with the likes, the comments, the shares, any of the new followers over on Facebook and Twitch, any of the new subscribers over on YouTube. We can't thank you guys and welcome you enough here to the Peacemaker family here this evening, man. A huge shout out to all of you guys for showing the love here this evening. A huge shout out to my boy Justin Johnson coming in with the donation earlier, and everyone else showing the love here throughout the evening, and we can't wait to see you guys back up here in the grandstands cheering on drivers tomorrow night, as we'll be back in the booth putting on another big show here on Thursday nights for our Hyper Shift Racing League, as that's going to be another amazing show tomorrow night. Going to be a lot of fun, going to be some great racing, and hopefully we'll see you guys back up here in the broadcast booth as well. As ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank y'all for watching, thank y'all for tuning in, and we'll check y'all in the next one. See you guys back out there tomorrow night. Thanks for watching. Peace and love, baby. Peace and love, ladies and gentlemen.
Roaring engines rip the night, burning bright, yeah, no stop. Wheels screaming, spit that fire, dirt and gravel, they pop. Oil slick under the street lights, the shadows start to dance. Adrenaline like thunder, man, give me that last chance. Wednesday night, street fights, racing for the win. Broken steel Races blood pumping, fast gasoline is all they need. Tracks alive like a monster, the dirt flies and bends. Ruthless turns, heart turns savage till the night ends. Wednesday night, street fights, racing for the win. Broken steel and busted dreams, we wear it on our skin. Smell the fumes, taste the danger, hold tight to the wheel. This ain't no love song, baby, this is raw real. Underneath the moonlight, crowds roar so loud. Pride's in the throttle, not in faces of a crowd. A brotherhood of metal, sweat, gears that grind. Cross that line or get left behind. Cold air cuts the dawn, still our fires rage. Holding bruises like trophies, exhaling battle cage.